Just tryna touch a milli, I'm a addy dropper. Cause on my mama we get busy. Another man down in my city. Brody Chopper got a red dot and some titties. I ain't with the drama. I'm just tryna touch a milli, I'm a addy dropper. Cause on my mama we get busy. Plug pull up with the pack and I ain't even bust it down. Couple minutes on my phone, I promise I'm gon' get it gone. I stay solid, I get caught, I'm fighting till they sit me down. You get caught, you singing like a nigga in the studio. Brody sold the whip for 1,000 cause we just slid in it. I really make a house call, fuck if your kids in it. Been through some shit that's why my heart too froze. You ain't living what you rapping in a studio. You get your noodle blown, fucking with the opposition. My brother making decisions on anybody that's dissing. With the quickness, I'ma make a decision. I'm on a mission. You tripping, thinking we missing. I'm shooting up with precision. Red beam on the barrel to give myself some assistance. My brother come through like sniper, he knock you off from a distance. Big foe with no foe, I'm balling just like a piston. We get the... Damn, heard it's another man down in my city. Brody Chopper got a red dot and some titties. I ain't with the drama. I'm just tryna touch a milli, I'm a addy dropper. Cause on my mama we get busy. Another man down in my city. Brody Chopper got a red dot and some titties. I ain't with the drama. I'm just tryna touch a milli, I'm a addy dropper. Cause on my mama we get busy. Plug pull up with the pack and I ain't even bust it down. Couple minutes on my phone, I promise I'm gon' get it gone. I stay solid, I get caught, I'm fighting till they sit me down. You get caught, you singing like a nigga in the studio. Brody sold the whip for 1,000 cause we just slid in it. I really make a house call, fuck if your kids in it. Been through some shit that's why my heart too froze. You ain't living what you rapping in a studio. You get your noodle blown, fucking with the opposition. My brother making decisions on anybody that's dissing. With the quickness, I'ma make a decision. I'm on a mission. You tripping, thinking we missing. I'm shooting up with precision. Red beam on the barrel to give myself some assistance. My brother come through like sniper, he knock you off from a distance. Big foe with no foe, I'm balling just like a piston.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is the El Nino Podcast. I'm Eladio Nino, and this is Real Everyday People. So thank you, as always. I appreciate everybody always showing love, you know what I'm saying? Summer Bash was dope event. Everybody showed up, had a blast, had wonderful vendors, food vendors, merch vendors, had the dunk tank. Shout out, man, to everybody who participated and volunteered their time to do the Hood Celebrity Dunk Tank, man. Definitely appreciate y'all. Had a great turnout. Everything was peaceful, man. Much love to all the performers, everybody who volunteered their time and their talent, man, to put on a hell of a show for the crowd, man. Appreciate you guys. I know I didn't have an episode last Monday. It was my 2nd year anniversary that me and my wife had been married. So we went and got away. We went to Hocking Hills, Ohio, man. I'll tell you what, it was the most wonderful experience I ever had. I felt like I was one with the earth. If you ever get a chance, man, and it's about 4 hours away. It's called Hocking Hills, Ohio. You got to go there, whether you rent a room or you rent a cabin, whatever you do, you're going to go there, and it is just a wonderful experience, man. I loved it. I felt very connected to Mother Nature that day. I felt like I was within the earth, but it was definitely a beautiful experience. If you want to, change the vibe for yourself and go and experience something, go experience that. But today, man, we got a hell of a guest. He was also one of the performers at the El Nino Podcast Summer Bash. My guy, he is very talented. Love his energy. He stay turned up. And this is my man, Demaciiio. What's up with you, brother?
What up, though?
My man, welcome to the El Nino Podcast, man.
Thank you for having me, man.
Yeah, no doubt about it, bro. The first time I seen you perform was at Southwest Fest, and I was like, damn, who's bro? He's like super turned up, you know what I'm saying? And that's a big-ass stage you was on, bro, and you was back and forth. That's the dog, got a lot of energy, man.
Yeah, no, I trained for that. For real.
Hell yeah, you got to, because I'd have been through up. You know what I'm saying? I'd have been out of breath doing all that shit, but that's hype, though. You know how to work the crowd, man.
Yes, sir.
But, yeah, man, let the people know, man, who you are, what it is, what it ain't, where you from, who you with, you know?
Shit. My name is Demaciiio. I'm an artist from Southwest Detroit, visual artist, also sonically, and part of We Are Culture Creators. And, yeah, man, I'm just a person who chooses to form his own path in his life, you know what I mean, and take it to the fullest and live on that, stand on that. So, man,
shout out to the culture creators, man. DJ, EJ, my guy, Reyes. Man, just found out Rico Way's part of the culture creators. You are part of the culture creators. I'm like, damn, bro, that's a hell of a lineup, man. That's dope.
It's a powerful program.
Yeah, I love what Miguel was able to come through and put together with our community, man. I mean, it's really dope. Like, I haven't seen anything but positive, productive, and creative stuff come out of, that organization, bro.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
Man. Yeah, and it's just the whole work ethic, you know what I'm saying? Everybody pushes each other, you know what I'm saying? Like, we all come from similar backgrounds, which is not coming from shit, but figuring it out and pushing ourselves to make something out of ourselves, you know what I mean? And not pushing these boundaries or limits on ourselves. So, and that's the example that Reyes puts out, you know what I'm saying? Like, he from no butt fuck Saginaw, you know what I'm saying? Like, from the middle of nowhere, you know what I mean? So, like, for him to travel the world and do the poetry that he's done and all that, you know what I'm saying? Like, he had to, like, break them barriers within himself and, in turn, show us how to do that.
No, man, Miguel Reyes, he's very talented, man, and that's my guy, bro. I met him when I was in prison, bro. Him and shout out to my brother Maximo Anguiano. They came in, they put on a Cinco de Mayo event in Jackson when we was in prison. And man, Maximo, he was a teacher at Jackson Community College. He brought in a bunch of his students, and then he brought Miguel Reyes with him. And man, Miguel, he is something else with that wordplay, bro. He put on a show, bro, and he picked a piece from everybody. Tell me this, tell me that, tell me this. And then once he performed, bro, he did a spoken word event that was so hard, dog. I was like, damn.
Because of the sopa. He puts it to the sopa.
Yes, bro, yes. And he's like so real, so passionate about it, man. I loved it, man. That's my guy. Yeah. So tell me a little bit about where you from, bro. Where you grew up at, how you grew up, you know what I mean?
I'm from the Michigan McGraw area. I used to stay on Turnus. My family all from McGraw. But I stayed all over Southwest. I lived in Inkster for a little bit, so I experienced that. And, I'm from that area, man. It showed me a lot, the good and the bad, you know what I mean? It showed me who I wanted to be, who I didn't want to be. And I had a lot of examples, and from there I was just always able to pick, you know what I'm saying, of which way I want to go. And you know what I'm saying?
No, that's good, bro. It seems, you know what I'm saying, like you chose a pretty good path. But I know life is a journey, and it's a process as well. You know, a lot of times we have to go and experience a lot of shit, you know what I'm saying, to get to where we are today, to have the knowledge and the understanding, you know, and life wasn't always sweet. It's just, a lot of people, they see where you're at today and they think shit is sweet, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, bro, you don't even understand, the shit that I had to endure, the suffering I endured, the things that I went through, to get to where I'm at today. And I think that that's what makes, like music in our communities so impactful, because they tell the stories of the struggles, you know what I'm saying, and where we come from. And, that's really why this platform was created, because I wanted to document stories of people from our community so people would understand who we are and where we come from.
Right.
You know what I mean?
What we can do.
Yeah,
we really put our minds to it.
Yup, for sure, man. And, also as a platform for healing, because there's a lot of people who are carrying baggage of trauma in their life, bro, and they're passing it on to the next generations, and the next generation are just carrying these baggage of trauma and suffering, you know what I'm saying? And they become a slave to it. So I think that, the best way to be able to heal from them wounds is by talking about it. You know what I'm saying? To me, it's like a form of cleansing your spirit. A lot of people aren't comfortable with talking about their past and the things that they've been through, or, a lot of people are ashamed of the things that they've done. But I think that, at this point in life, you know what I'm saying, in order to be able to grow and prosper and be able to mature and liberate yourself from all them chains, is to be able to talk freely about the things that you've been through and the things that you experienced, because you never know when your story can be a guidebook for somebody else,
right. And at the end of the day, man, we all human. We got to let it go, you know what I'm saying? And living in your truth isn't easy, but it's necessary, So I think that's a big part of it, is like just recognizing all that you are.
And forgiveness, forgiving yourself, forgiving others, that's all part of the process as well. And once you learn how to forgive yourself and others, then what follows is, gratitude, you know what I'm saying? being able to, break down the mental and emotional barriers that you've had, and then you learn to love better, and then you really learn the difference between circumstantial and unconditional love, and then you learn to love yourself, though. You know what I mean? And there's so many people who have that self-hate. And it becomes so self-destructive, and it becomes a barrier to their growth and their progress, bro.
No, that's real. And so the question is, like, how do we expose people to, knowing that, you can be, you're not what you were born into is not the end all be all. It's easy for people like us to say, and that been through a lot and can come out on the other side. But how do you tell that to somebody who's stuck in the mud? You feel me? And like, I don't know. It's It's a constant battle of like just showing people, man, and it comes from leading by example ultimately,
Mm-hmm. When I came home and I started attending these events like Vibes with the Tribes and Southwest Fest, I was just like absolutely blown away just to see our community come together the way that it does. And there's no issues. There's no drama. There's no I'm going to kill you or like none of that, bro. And it's just everybody's creative. People are painting. People are, selling merchandise. People are like creative, progressive, proactive, entertaining. Like you got, shout out to Brian Ruiz and Grupo Contagio, and like, just seeing Grupo Monte, Los Astros, like these are all young brothers, and they got their own group and they doing their thing. And ever since I've known them, yeah, bro. And, brothers like yourself, bro. And I just got hip to Flaco Suave and what's his name? Two Down?
Two Down, yeah. Man,
that guy's hype too, man. Yeah. I'm trying to get both of y'all on here, man. So, we'll set a date, man. Get you boys on here. Tell your stories.
I think, too, people recognize how special that is. You know what I mean? It's not every day that you got the Summer Bash or the Southwest Fest. You know what I'm saying? Like, these are collaborating minds that come together to put on this event. Like, that's special in itself. Like, the energy put forth. And I feel like people recognize that and relate to it. And also, like, they want something like that. You know what I mean? Like, it's very unique. You know what I mean? Because a lot of times there's going to be a big corporation that comes in or a big business that comes in that's not from the neighborhood to do some shit like that just for the dollar amount. You know what I'm saying? But when you got something special like that you could go to and it's like free to low cost, like, and it's put on by the hood, like, you know what I mean? Like, we got to cherish these moments,
So there's always, every event I have been to, has been a complete success. Like, I mean, packed.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
It's supported.
El Club, packed. Southwest Fest, packed for culture creators, and there's always packed, and I love it. But do we just draw in community, or do you think that we get people from other places?
It's definitely a mixture. We get support from a community, but we also get support from the surrounding areas because they see how strong we stand together. You know what I mean? And like, and two is there's other people that want to push themselves to be more. You know what I mean? To do more and to experience more. So I feel like it's a culmination of all of that.
Mm-hmm. And what's cool too is that, because everybody don't fuck with everybody. You know what I'm saying? But they could still be in the same space doing their thing and it not be an issue.
Yeah.
And I respect the shit out of that.
No, that's what I mean? You know what I'm saying? We catch you on another day, it's something different. But right now, it's, you know what I'm saying? Like, we in community. So.
Yeah.
That's
and I think it's very mature because, I grew up in the 90s. Like, we couldn't have no shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, if there's a problem, we about to deal with this shit right now. And even if we fuck the whole carnival up or with the festival, whatever it is, that's why they ain't got us in Hart Plaza no more, just because of, you know what I'm saying? But I just, so to me, it was just great to see that everybody could socialize, everybody can, everybody's on the same page, bro.
Yeah, no, man, it's definitely a special time, you know what I'm saying, for a creative, for entrepreneurs, you know what I'm saying? Like, we're moving in a different space where we're able to have these conversations, you know what I'm saying, and bring up names that are other people that are moving. Like, it's definitely like going in a good direction.
Yup, definitely, man. So what's your nationality, bro?
I'm Puerto Rican and Mexican. My father is Puerto Rican. He's my family's from Lares and Jabucoa in Puerto Rico, and my mother's side is Mexican, and we're from Zacatecas and Tlaxcala.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the shit, bro.
Yeah.
You got the best of both worlds, baby.
Yes, sir. Yeah, you know what I mean? And I love me being both, you know what I'm saying? You know, obviously growing up, it's not going to be easy being both, you know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers like
being Mexican.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Pick a side type shit. But I feel like my story is beautiful because it's a story of like, of people that are pioneering their future, you know what I'm saying? Like coming here to work, and that's how our families meet, you know what I'm saying? It's coming here to search for the best future for our families, and two kids growing up in Southwest meet and they make me, you know what I'm saying? Like I feel like that's powerful, you know what I'm saying? To like the paving the way. So it's like and it's the epitome of Southwest, you know what I'm saying? Of like people coming here for a better future, you know, and Detroit in general. So I love that I'm both, you know. I mean, I take pride in that. I wear my Puerto Rican flag one day, but you know what I'm saying? I wear my Mexican flag one day, but I'm always going to rep both to the fullest.
Ain't no doubt. You should, bro. Yeah. You should definitely be proud of all of your heritage, you know what I'm saying? And you know, because our people are proud people, you know what I'm saying? Wherever they are, they fly in their flag for sure.
No, especially the Puerto Rican side, you know what I'm saying? Like, they fly.
And I've seen Puerto Rican pride like never before. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was gone for 17 years, so, you know, the community has evolved. It's changed, you know what I'm saying? But in a positive direction, and I love to see it. You know what I mean? Like, you know, Mexicans, we loud and proud everywhere the fuck we go. You know what I mean? But seeing Puerto Rico, like they right there with us, bro. You know what I'm saying? And I love the way that so many, because people are always asking me, like, don't Mexicans and Puerto Ricans hate each other? And I'm like, man, fuck no. You know what I'm saying? They were like, well, why do they get mad when you call them this or call them that? I'm like, well, you know, that's with anybody. You know what I'm saying? Call me what I am. You know what I'm saying? No. You don't want to just call everybody Chinese as Asian. No, they might be, you know, Cambodian. They might be Filipino, whatever it is. They take pride in that. With us, you know, I'm not Cuban. I'm not Honduran. I'm not Salvadorian. I'm not Puerto Rican. I'm Mexican. You know what I'm saying?
This is what I am. I stand on it. It's love for them. But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, always.
Like, this is what I am. No, that's real.
Yeah, but you know, I maybe it was just an old thing, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying it don't exist, but you don't even see it or hear it anymore because it's just, there's so much love now within, you know, the Latino population, bro. You know what I mean?
I feel like the world is heading to a giant mixing pot anyways. You know what I'm saying? Like, so many, like, nationalities are you know what I'm saying? Like, they say, what, like 30, 50 years from now, you know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people are going to be mixed anyways. You know
when I was in prison, bro, I used to, you know, I was very studious, and I used to think of ways to correct the errors of the world and break the systems that were built to break us. You
break
know
the matrix.
And I said, but one of the things was racism. Like, how do you break racism?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I was like,
everybody fuck everybody.
Yes. That's how you do it. Yeah. That's how you do it. You know what I'm saying? And there it is. Yeah. You know, we are all things. We are of all things, bro. You know what I'm saying? And everybody's history comes from pride, battles, war, slaves, you know what I'm saying? At some point, everybody's nation was under slavery, and then also they were rulers as well, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So when you think about it, man, it's like the blood, the ancestors, the history of who we are and where we come from, bro, you know what I'm saying? Like, we live, you know, our ancestors lived through us, bro. Yeah. In our music, in our creativity, you know, all that type of shit. Our food, like everything, and we just progressively getting better, bro.
Keep on pushing it. No, that's for real. Yeah, my wife, she's Dominican, Cuban, Puerto Rican. So my kids are Puerto Rican, Dominican, Cuban, and Mexican. You know what I'm saying? So like,
and it's important to let people know that I'm all these things.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, for real. So I'm happy for them that they get to be all them cultures. You know what I'm saying? So.
Yeah, absolutely, bro. You get to eat tortas, and you can have habichuela, and you can have, you know what I'm saying, all that shit,
touchdown
bro.
Everywhere. Like, they got it too where they could go visit Cuba. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? It's hard to get to Cuba, but if you got family there, it's not that hard. So I'm happy that my kids, when they get of age, can, you know what I'm saying, can say, yeah, I'm a descendant here. You know what I'm saying? So.
Yeah, I got two brothers. They're half Cuban. Okay. And my stepdad was Cuban, so I grew up with that Cuban culture. Yeah. And a lot of times when I'm around Mexicans, you know, my Spanish sounds Cuban, and they're like, "Are you Cuban? I thought you're Mexican." I'm like, "I am Mexican, but I sound Cuban, I guess, because, you know, that's where I learned a lot of my Spanish was from my stepdad. You
Sucked
know?
it up. No, that's real.
Yeah. But so what was life like, man? You know, with your father, your mother.
Yeah.
Did you have siblings too?
Yeah, so I'm the oldest of 5. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So, but I only got one brother that we got the same mom and dad. So
Okay.
it was one of them situations. Grew up with my mom.
Papa was a Rolling Stone or what?
Nah, he was
Okay.
he was there, but you know what I'm saying. He did his own thing. We'd go see him on the weekends and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to my pops. You know what I'm saying. Always been strong, held it down. But yeah, really grew up with my mom. You know, my pops was 18 when he had me. My mom was like 19, 20. So I feel like in a sense I grew up with my parents. You know what I mean? Like I always like feel like that. So we always learned at the same, like, you know what I mean? But it made me who I am today, where I'm very observant and I'm very, you know what I'm saying? Because I see, and I think I just learned that from my life growing up. But we grew up right there on Turner, so it was good. You know what I'm saying? Had good times, had bad times. You know what I'm saying? But
What was it like growing up in that part of the neighborhood?
it was a mixed culture, so there's a lot of Latinos, a lot of black folk, but it's also too a lot of the Yemeni. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, there's
So
a
I
lot
grew
of
up. I grew up with a lot around a lot of Muslims and shit, and I loved it, man. You know what I'm saying? Learned from everybody. It was also right there on the strip, so I grew across the street from Crazy Horse. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Like,
hell no.
So as a young kid, you know what I'm saying, like getting to like know the security guards at the strip club, you know what I'm saying what's up to the strippers when I was a kid, you know what I'm saying? But
what up, dude?
yeah, you know what I mean? It was cool, man, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like the world is a ghetto, so you always gonna find hood aspects wherever you go, you know what I'm saying? So the drugs, the prostitutes, this is part of life, you know what I'm saying? But I feel like all of that and learning how to take that in as a young kid is like what formed my perspective on the world, you know what I'm saying? And what just showed me, you know what I mean? Like, just to be me, you know what I mean? You know, I've seen a lot of people follow other people into the wrong places, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I mean, I loved growing up. It was raw, you know what I'm saying? Rough, you know what I mean? But that, you know what I'm saying? I feel like you couldn't sugarcoat nothing. That's how it was. But growing up in that environment, like there was an abandoned house next to me growing up, so my first paintings on walls were in that abandoned house, you know what I'm saying? So like that's what like helped me form into the graffiti artist, and then in turn forming into the actual muralist, you know what I'm saying? So like learning that shit, like, you know what I mean, it was a blessing in disguise almost.
So you turned poverty into prosperity.
Man,
because
no, for real.
I would hate to live next to an abandoned house. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? I mean, you know, it could be used for so many things,
Yeah.
you know, negative things, or who the fuck wants to wake up every morning and just see that blemish,
Right,
you know
yeah.
what I'm saying, in your community, and you was like, fuck it, I'm gonna go in here and make this
Yeah.
place my, you know, my art, you know?
Right, and it's just established a presence, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, there was like, you know what I'm saying, crack pipes and shit in there, but like when people see somebody that's not on that shit in there, you know what I'm saying, they're like, all right, at least somebody is like, you know what I mean, making it look good. But yeah, I used to paint that whole house, you know what I'm saying, and all the walls, because I knew ain't nobody was about to buy that shit anyway. So
Where did you get your artistic talents from?
my grandfather, he was a principal of a couple schools in Southwest. He's a painter. So I saw him painting a lot, and that just like, for me, I seen him doing that painting. I'm like, oh, bet that's what's up. That's hard, you know what I'm saying? I wouldn't do it in that style, but it's nice. So what really pushed me though was growing around all the graffiti. You know what I mean? Like driving to school, driving home from school. Back in the day, Michigan used to just be all graffiti. You know what I mean? Like there was a Dairy Queen, the Dairy Queen on Michigan. Right next to it, it was a artist named Dems, Dems, and I still like his piece still is not there no more, but it still lives in my head. You know what I'm saying? And that was like seeing that piece every morning. It was like, damn, that shit crazy. How does he even pull that off? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that really like pushed me on the art tip.
So I used to live in East LA, and I used to live in Chicago.
Okay.
And they got some of the most fucking amazing art that I've seen. And I mean, as far as like urban art, graffiti, like I was like, damn. So it hadn't hit Detroit yet. You know what I'm saying? Like the hood was tagged up, but it was all gang shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There wasn't like sweet ass, like in Chicago they call them bombers. You know what I'm saying? Guys, and they had crews. They were like gangs too.
No, yeah,
They had
LA too,
crews.
yeah.
Yeah, and like that, they were like that in LA, and they like, but their murals were so dope. I was like, damn, I wish we had this in Detroit, you know?
Right.
And then I went away for them 17 years, and then I came home. and it was everywhere. And I was like, damn, like Detroit finally caught up because like when I lived in East LA and Chicago, like that was the first time I experienced a taco truck. You know what I'm saying? Paletas, elotes, the cup frutas. Like they've been doing this shit out there, bro. And I'm like, damn, why would we do this shit in Detroit? You know what I'm saying? And when I came home, like all of it was popping, and I was like, "Oh, this is the shit, bro."
Yeah,
you know
the hood turned up.
To see, yeah, for sure, man.
Yeah, no, I think on the mural tip, like Detroit adopting that culture, you know what I'm saying? Like, and when I say Detroit adopting, I mean like the official like government Detroit like accepting it. I feel like has turned us around because it's art is at the forefront of like pushing culture, you know what I'm saying? Like it's the idea of everything. Everything is the idea of something, and art being there shows that you have forward thinking individuals. So
you know where I seen some cold art at, bro, is Seattle, Washington, bro. Bro, I went there with the Skillman Foundation about youth violence.
Shout out to Skillman. Yeah, I know him.
Yeah. Shout out, man, to them for sure. They take care of the neighborhood.
Yeah,
man. They break bread with us for sure. And man, I went out there, bro, and like the whole city is built on art. I mean, graffiti, art. I'm talking about sculptures. Like everywhere you look is graffiti, art, in its entirety, bro. And I was like, holy shit, this is so, like, they embrace the art, you know what I mean? So it's like not, like, it doesn't stand out like if you just pull up on a wall and go do something, like it's already there, bro. You know what I'm saying? You're just adding yours to theirs, you know?
I went, one time when I was younger, I went to Philly. And when I was in Philly, I think that was really pushed me to do like big murals in the hood, because I went to Philly and they wrap whole buildings in a mural. You know what I'm saying? Like, I never seen it, but the community, the government officials, they all embraced it, and like that changed my perspective on it. You know,
I think recently I seen they're paying artists now.
Yeah.
The mayor, the city, they're like paying artists to paint murals and do graffiti and stuff on buildings and businesses all throughout the city, and I was like, look at this shit here.
Yeah, the City Walls project.
Yeah,
in Detroit. Yeah,
they was paying artists. I was like, damn, that's sweet as hell.
Yeah, I did. Me and Southwest Freddie did a mural with the City Walls project. It's on Scotton and Toledo. We got a mural over there.
Oh yeah,
yeah. It was with them and Pat's Blue Ribbon.
Man, I want to get that guy on this podcast, Southwest Freddie.
No, he do a lot.
You know, I work at the DHDC, so he got some work there too. Like when you walk into DHDC, you feel like you in an urban city because it ain't nothing but murals and art and graffiti and everything all over.
You know,
the place.
he did a couple of great ones. Him and Tech.
Yeah, we got
R.I.P. Tech.
Some of his work too is in there. Yup, great artist, man.
Yeah.
Yup. So, being the oldest, what challenges and obstacles did you have to go through? You know what I mean? Just because I was the oldest, you know what I'm saying? And that comes with a lot of responsibility, even in childhood and adolescence.
Right.
You grow up with responsibility.
Yeah, you grow up fast. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I grew up fast as
and
hell.
especially like having younger parents, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm watching everybody, you know what I'm saying, when they go out, you know what I'm saying? Like shit like that. So it's definitely like it put in it. I naturally had to become a leader. You know what I'm saying? Like I naturally have to be like, this is what we're gonna do. This, no, we can't do that. You know what I'm saying? Like and then not even from my, like, I remember watching my cousins. My family drop my cousins off while everybody go out. You know what I'm saying? So I'm watching everybody, you know, as a young age. So just naturally becoming a leader and just, you know what I'm saying, learning a lot. I feel like, you know, like I could tell my younger, like, nah, bro, don't go do that shit. But me, I got to hit my head. You know what I mean? Like, and learn it. So. Yeah.
And, you know, we kind of grew up in the era of, you know, do as I say, not as I do.
Yeah.
You know? And I see that changes now because when I see the younger generation, they be calling adults out on their shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
No, yeah, it's definitely.
And I mean, like me growing up, like we weren't allowed to ask no damn questions. You know what I'm saying? It was do as I say, not as I do, and don't say nothing else. You shut up, get slapped in your mouth.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But like this generation, like they ask all the questions.
Yeah.
They want to know who, why, what, where. You know what I'm saying? And you know, I think it's cool because they want to seek answers. They want to know the truth.
No,
you know
and that's real. and two is
and
just
it makes
like,
people uncomfortable because a lot of this are the systems, the country, and the history of our country, and everything that humanity is built on. We've been lied to a lot.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? It's
and
been
the
altered.
way of life.
Yes.
Yeah, I think it's very powerful. I've heard of Native indigenous cultures where at meetings, at big sit downs, you know what I'm saying, it's the kids who talk first. You know what I'm saying? It's not the adults and then the kids, you know what I'm saying? It's like, we're going to start from the seed and go up, you know what I mean? So you're dealing with the roots and coming up. So I think stuff like that is very powerful, man.
No, and it's true, but it takes a conscious adult to acknowledge and respect that. You know what I'm saying? Somebody who respects the process of life, and who believes in empowering their youth and their generation, you know? And, when I got out of prison and I got my job at the DHDC, I assumed that when I came home that the youth I was working with were going to be like the youth that I was growing up. And it was not like that at all, bro. I really had to humble myself. And more than come in there and be a teacher, I had to be the student first. You know what I'm saying? So in order for me to be able to care for them and advise them and mentor them, I needed to sit down and listen. It wasn't my turn to talk. It was my turn to listen.
Right.
And, a lot of these kids, their parents were, deported. You know what I'm saying? So they endured a lot of different struggles. And, can you imagine if your parents got deported and you had to be raised with, grandparents or neighbors or cousins and, fend for yourself and all the things, the possibilities and all the shit that you got to go through with, family and a pedophilia and just all the bullshit that comes with it, and it's just like so they were dealing with that, gender identification, just different struggles that I wasn't accustomed to, you know what I mean? And but once I learned from them and I let them speak and I let them teach me, then I was able to actually give them advice and stuff like that. Yeah, for sure, real. Man.
I think too, man, that's just like a lesson. Like, we always gonna be a student. You know what I'm saying? It don't matter anything we're in, student and teacher. You know what I'm saying? So
absolutely,
I think that's always like a good mindset to have. Is like where you recognize where, all right, I gotta sit back and listen. Like that's powerful. A lot of people can't do that. You know what I mean?
When I was in prison, I had started a youth program. And I used to talk to the youth because it seemed like there was such a big disconnect in youth and adults. You know what I'm saying? Like, I grew up respecting my adults, and a lot of the youth today, they do not have respect for adults. And I used to ask them, like, bro, like, why is there such a big gap between the two? And, like I said, the youth, they call the adults out on the bullshit. They got tired of, being lied to, being manipulated, being hurt, being disappointed. You know what I'm saying? Being used and abused. And they was just like, and then some of them were like, well, fuck, I sell heroin to my mom. I sell crack to my dad. My aunts and uncles, they buy drugs and dope off me. Right. So they look at adults like they're just a bunch of fucking dope fiends and they don't respect them. You know what I'm saying? And so I had to show them that there are adults, you know what I'm saying, who still stand on morality and have standards and still have the best interests of the youth, and to teach them and can be a model for them, and be a positive example.
But I feel like that's the adults like that are the minority. You know what I mean? Like, not saying that all adults are fuck ups, you know what I'm saying, because I don't think of a fuck up or anybody in this room, but there's a big portion of us that are like come up, they're like, damn, bro, like, we weren't led right, you know what I'm saying? So I gotta lead myself, and you know what I mean? Like, I understand that shit too, but yeah, it's complex when you get into like growing up in America almost, you know what I'm saying?
And then you got to think, for me, like, bro, I was gone almost 2 decades, bro. Yeah. Times had changed, you know what I'm saying? Coming home and, being able to be aware of all the pronouns and, the he, the she, the him, the theirs, the hers, and all that, and then, growing into a professional setting, working at the DHDC, initially I did youth work for 2.5 years, and now now I'm an outreach coordinator in the reentry department, where I help adults now find jobs, and I hold healing circles with the youth. I hold community healing circles with people in the community. And I love what it's doing, for people. but I had to adjust because times had changed, bro. You know what I'm saying? And you know, people, they fail to realize that, you know, when you get out of prison, they expect you to just come out here and be normal.
Snap back.
You know, when you spend half your life in prison, bro, that's like a whole nother world. And then you got to come home to a whole nother world. And it's not even because when you go in, it's like your life is on pause the whole time. The way you think, the way you feel, like all that shit comes from when you went in. And then when you come out, you know what I'm saying, and there's just a whole new world, and you got to transition into that and learning the new ways of society and the new ways of the world, you know. So accepting that, dealing with, you know, transgender and just, you know, because I'm a humanitarian and I always, you know, want to show respect to everybody, you know. But, you know, back in the days when we was younger, we looked at that like, what the fuck? Like, you know, even in prison, like, you know, everybody was like, you know, we don't play that shit, you know. But you know, society has changed, you know what I'm saying?
Fast.
And and technology, that was an absolute challenge for me.
What technology was out before you went in?
Man, I mean, I think I knew one person that had like a real computer, you know what I'm saying? But like a real computer, not no laptop, no none of that, like a real computer. And, you know, I think they can download songs. They used to show me shows like Faces of Death and shit like that. But that was like the only glimpse. Like our phones were not like digital like that, you know what I'm saying? So when I came home, this was the first thing they handed me.
Everybody
the day I got
they
out.
handed you a computer.
I'm like, dog, what in the fuck is this? And then I signed up for college because, you know, when I came home, I just wanted to make all the right decisions, put myself in the best position to be successful. So, you know, when I was in prison, I was very studious. I used to, you know, study curriculum. I used to facilitate curriculum in classes. I did a lot of reading and studying and stuff like that. So I thought that that's what school would be like when I came home. I was absolutely, totally wrong. You know what I'm saying? They were like, yep, you got to do all these reports and researches on a laptop and do this, and you got to have homework. And I'm like, holy shit. Every class you got to do research. You got homework to do. I'm like, and then you got to type everything out.
Ain't no more writing.
I said, bro, I'm like here with a pencil and a paper, and they're looking at me like I'm Fred Flintstone or something. You know what I mean? I'm like, damn.
I think that's a big thing too, man. Like, everything is on the laptop now. You know what I'm saying? It's very rare that I'm going to whip out some pen and paper. You know what I'm saying? I do because that's how I take notes. But a lot of people, I ain't got no pen, I ain't got no paper. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a big leap that we took.
You know, I just, you know, when I was inside, I was evaluating life because I kind of wanted to know what I was coming home to, you know. And people always talked about technology, how technology's taken over the world, how, you know, you got the whole world at the tip of your fingers, you know. And one of my first experiences was, you know, having the phone, and I got a homeboy in Albania. You know what I'm saying? I had my brother Bonu, shout out. He was in Cambodia. I got my other brothers, Jalisco, and my homeboys in Durango. And I'm like talking to him on the phone, and I'm like fucking amazed. Like, holy shit, you guys are way in a whole nother country, and like we're like right here though.
Right.
So I thought that was a blessing. That was, you know, that was dope because, you know, we're not so far anymore. But what it does to the mind state and the mentality of people, like if you know, it's one thing when you use it, it's another when you abuse it. I'm talking about social media, technology. You know, me and my daughter one day, she was saying something and I disagreed with her, and she was like, well, Google said this. And I was like, well, I'm your dad and I'm telling you this. I'm telling you this is what it is. And like, Google was absolutely right for her, like, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, how you gonna tell me? I'm your dad. I'm telling you what it is, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, you know, Google replaced the parents. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't even need to learn from adults anymore. If they want to know something or learn something, all they got to do is ask Google.
Siri.
No,
that's real.
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
Yeah, man. What was I about to say? And I feel like everything comes to us so fast nowadays. You know what I mean? Like, we don't got time to process nothing. You know what I mean? Like, but you have to keep up with the times too. So it's like, I'm pretty sure when you came home, like, that speed was crazy as well. Like,
I mean, I came home with so much energy. You know what I'm saying, bro? Like, after 17 years, I was just full of energy, bro.
Right.
And I had so much gratitude, you know what I mean, to just come up out of that environment, bro, and to come and because everything in there is cold, bro. It's cold, it's concrete, it's brick, there's fences, there's gates, there's barbed wire, everything's gray, you know what I'm saying? Like everything in that bitch is hard.
Yeah.
It suppresses your mind, it suppresses your heart, it suppresses your spirit, it suppresses your body, you know what I'm saying? There's not like flowers and there's nothing sweet in there. And then you come home and you smell the aromas of bread and food and you see flowers and you just see life, bro. You know what I'm saying? And I was literally transitioning visually, mentally, verbally. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, damn, man. Like, I never wanted to take my freedom for granted again, bro. You know what I mean?
No, that's powerful. No, for real.
Yup, for sure, bro. You never know what you got till you ain't got it no more,
Yeah.
man. And that's what I try to teach people, and you know, because you know, even sometimes myself, you know, I've accomplished a lot since I've been home. I've been home for 4 years. It doesn't feel like it's been 4 years, but I came home to a pandemic, you know, and I seen society suffer. Society had a fucking meltdown during this pandemic. You know, people were committing suicide. People were getting divorced, domestic violence at a high time rate. Like, there was so much shit going on because everybody had to sit still and face each other. You know what I mean? And the reality of, you know, getting to know who you married, getting to know your husband and your wife again, getting to know your kids again. You know what I'm saying? And for some it worked and for some it didn't.
Right.
But to me, I thrived during the pandemic because I was already accustomed to being sheltered and
The
locked
solitude.
up. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I get to watch TV. I can go to the fridge. I can use the bathroom. I can step outside. Like, this shit is sweet.
Yeah.
And then that's when I came up with the idea of
The podcast.
the podcast. Yeah.
That's hard.
Yup. That was 3 years ago, bro. And
Man.
still going strong, man.
Good shit, man. Shit. Hope you keep going for another 10, 13, 20, you know what I
Hell
mean?
yeah. Everybody talking about, they either call me the Steve Harvey
Uh,
of the neighborhood, or they call me, damn, what was his name?
the Joe Rogan of the neighborhood.
Damn, Johnny Canales.
Okay.
Everybody, oh, you're like Johnny Canales. That's cool. I'll take that.
Yeah, that's hard.
Yeah, no doubt, man. So, what was I gonna ask you? Oh yeah, that's crazy how you told me that you was related to Johnny Mercado. That's my
Yeah.
dog, Miguel Alicea and all them guys.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn, that's the shit, bro. You know, that's crazy. I was bunkies with Miguel. You know what I'm saying? That's when they called him Psycho.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's you know too. Like, that's the only name I knew him for. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like,
Psycho, yeah.
I'm like, damn. All right.
Crazy. We listen. Wouldn't nobody lock with that guy. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Nobody wanted to be his bunkie in prison. So we were homeboys. So he's like, yeah, I want to lock with him. So we ended up being bunkies for like a whole year.
That's hard. Oh,
Yeah.
my man Lou,
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Lou, yeah, Lou.
Rick Speck and
Rick
all them.
Speck, yeah. Lucy
Yeah.
Bada, I just seen him recently. He was actually at Johnny's wedding when he
Okay.
got married.
That's
Yeah.
hard. Yeah,
But
man.
even him, he's from like Adrian. So
Yeah.
I was just so surprised. Him like Mario Bueno, like all these guys was from like Pontiac. Reyes was from Saginaw. These guys was from Adrian. But when I come to the hood, like everybody's living
Right.
in Southwest. And I was like, damn.
Man, and you know too, ain't no coincidences. You know what I'm saying? The reason you guys all get out and are centered around each other, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's because you guys got work to do. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh yeah, definitely, man.
Like,
Big shout out to
your
my
stories.
dog.
You know what I mean? Like you said, they're ripples. You know what I mean? They help people. So
No, for real, because like I told you, bro, you know, I got kind of overwhelmed with everything because ever since I started this shit, everything been out of pocket. You know what I'm saying? And nothing to replenish it. I had no resource, and I still don't have a resource, but I do have sponsors, people who've been donating, sponsoring,
Right.
showing me love, and that shit been really helping me out. But I was going to fold up shop, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, and people were like, no. Do not do that, bro. Like, you just don't understand what your podcast does, or you had a certain guest, or they heard a certain story, or you never know what people are going through and how they're going to be able to relate to you and your story and how it impacts other people's lives.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, like I said, it's always fulfilled its purpose, bro. But when it comes to monetization, that's a whole nother thing. That's like real life struggle. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? is money. Money's such a sensitive issue with people, bro. And, you know, that was a factor for me. But once people were like, nah, bro, we need this shit. You know what I'm saying? I was like, you know what, bro? This no longer is mine. This belongs to my people. This belongs to the people. This belongs to the community, you know?
No, that's real. And, you know, too, the way you're studious, you know what I mean? The monetization, everything, that's going to come. You're going to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? Like, one day you're going to hit, you know what I mean? Like, even if it's, keep on just doing podcasts, you know what I'm saying? Like, them numbers add up, you know, like the numbers you need to start monetization. Like, eventually it's going to come, bro.
Yeah. Thank you, brother. Thank you, man. I made the commitment. I've been diligent. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, I feel like I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm right where I'm supposed to be, and there's purpose behind it. And eventually, you know, everything's going to come in due time, bro.
This setup alone, you know what I'm saying? You know, not people that haven't had what you've been through, you know what I'm saying, haven't done this. You know what I'm saying? For you to come home and do this, bro, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's heavy, bro. Good shit.
You know what's crazy, bro, is you know, everything that I do is a reflection of me, my creativity, my vision, you know what I'm saying? Just everything in here represents who I am. And I was the same way in prison too. And I used to decorate my cell, bro, my bunk, my cell, my wall for Christmas, holiday, shit like that. And it used to lift a lot of spirits. Like, people are like, because, you know, a lot of people are depressed around the holidays and stuff like that, you know, missing family. A lot of times, you know, I spent a lot of time upstate. That's 5-6 hours away. Can't nobody afford to, you know, make that trip.
In the winter.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, especially in the winter up there, shit, you feel like you in Alaska.
Right.
You know? But I always kept a positive spirit, you know what I'm saying? I always kept home close to me. And even officers, like, it was crazy because officers would be like, why are you decorating your shit? Like, you know, like, they want everybody to be miserable and sad. And I'm like, well, shit, it's Christmas. It's the holidays. I'm grateful. I got a lot to celebrate. You know what I mean? And every time I got Christmas cards in the mail, I would put them on my wall. And I just kept the spirit alive. You know what I'm saying? That's just who I was.
Yeah.
You know?
That's hard. That's not easy to do either. To keep that spirit.
Especially when you live around a bunch of miserable people, because, you know, a lot of people, even though they liked and appreciated, there was some that didn't. They was Grinches, you know what I'm saying? And then, like, a lot of people, there was Muslims in there who they don't celebrate Christmas and, you know, they don't believe in all that, you know? But I'm like, you know, I respect you guys and what you do, but, you know, respect, this is who I am.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
This is how I'm getting through it.
Yeah,
like,
this is how I get through it, for sure, bro. And even breaking bread with the brothers, man. Everybody pitch in. I got a meat stick. You got a chili. We got cheese. We got some noodles, and we feast. We feast. Everybody pitch in. We make some burritos. We feast. We get some Kool-Aid. You know what I'm saying? And we make it. We make it happen in there, bro. You know, that's one of the things I was always known for, bro. Was feasting. You know, every joint I ever been at, bro. Like, I always broke bread with the brothers, you know, and we always came together and we became family, you know. We filled that void and substituted it with brotherhood, you know.
Good shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough.
So let's talk about this new video you just showed me. You was in Europe, I think, and it was with the Detroit Pistons. Like, bro, that's a big deal, man.
Thank you. Yeah, I was in the beginning of this year in January. The culture creators have flew out to Paris. So I think it's every year, but I'm not sure. The Pistons do an international game. So this international game was held in Paris, which is like a sister city to Detroit, and you know what I mean, Detroit, you know what I mean, coming from the French that found it.
Yeah, for sure.
Just being,
did you tell people you were from Detroit?
Yeah, no, I didn't say it. Like, when I tell people I'm from Detroit, and they say it in French to their homies, Detroit, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, just hearing that was hard. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, being out there, man, especially all right. For everybody that's from the hood, if you get a chance to go to Europe and tell people you're from Detroit, you automatically get love. Like, I've been to Berlin, and there's a secret club that's hard to get in. I'll be like, no, we from Detroit. Oh shit, yeah, y'all gotta be in here. You know what I'm saying? Like, everywhere in Detroit, you know what I'm saying? People get love from Detroit. So the whole time, man, we meeting artists, we're doing photo shoots, and then I went out there to do a mural with the Pistons, and I was able to do the mural, and I executed the mural at such like a high level that they actually taking us back. You know what I mean? We're doing a whole tour of Berlin, Paris, and London.
That's sweet as hell,
Yeah,
bro.
thank you, man.
And coming from the neighborhood.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's why I go hard.
It's people who ain't ever even been out of Southwest.
Right.
I used to take homies to River Rouge and Ecorse, and they thought they was in the fucking burbs and
Right.
shit. I'm like, damn, bro. You know, but to go to like Europe, like, bro, that's
off of
big.
And I stress letting people know, like, this is off of my music and my art. You know what I'm saying? This shit that I've dedicated my life to. That has, there's a saying, take care of your craft because your craft will take care of you. You know what I'm saying? And like, I've been around the world off of doing this, and there's been times where people told me in my life, bro, you're not gonna get nowhere with this, bro. I've worked at Mobis, I've worked at Ford. You know what I'm saying? I've worked at different factories. You know what I'm saying? Where people are like, just stay here, you're gonna get a good check. You know what I'm saying? But I believe in myself so much. And it's finally starting to pay off, you know what I'm saying? So they say it takes 10 years to be an overnight success, you know what I mean? I've been doing this for about 10 years. I've been grinding and I've been ignoring the doubt and going full strong, you know what I'm saying? And I'm starting to, you know what I mean, reap the rewards, you know?
And that's what I'm saying. Like, people see where you're at today and they think that it happened overnight.
Right.
Like, I had an artist a few weeks ago. His name was RTK D-Boy, Risk Taker.
Yeah.
And when I was looking through his videos, I was like, damn, this one's 5 years old or 3. I'm like, damn, he been putting in work for a long time.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, you know, it takes that time.
That's what it takes.
And that's what people were telling me too, because I'm like, damn, bro, I've been doing this podcast 3 years already. And they're like, listen, bro, you know, like, it takes time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I moved into the Culture Creators House when I was 17. I'm 27 now. So it's exactly 10 years, you know what I'm saying? Like, and now we're being able to do these global expansions. So, you know.
I thought that bitch was like a hood orphanage. You know what I'm saying?
Man,
initially.
not initially, but it was kind of like, you know what I'm saying? Like, the misfits who didn't succumb to the, like, you know what I'm saying, the hood trap culture and all that, you know what I'm saying? All of us that we're from that's not who we choose to be, you know what I'm saying? Like,
you guys created your own lane, bro.
You feel me?
That's what I love. You guys created your own lane, dog, and went full throttle in that bitch,
man.
bro.
And live and die by it. And we figure out how to make money from it. We figure out how to, like, you know what I'm saying, like, work with government entities to make money from it, or put together programs, you know what I'm saying? So, like,
yeah, because you guys got a nice grant last year,
the
bro.
Lewis Prize, $500,000.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying?
Man. Congratulations to you, brothers, man.
And that went to paying, you know what I'm saying, putting on a lot of events for the neighborhood and imploring people, you know what I'm saying? Like, that shit, you know what I mean? Like, we really stretch that shit out and make sure we putting it to great use. And we are, you know what I mean? We take kids from the neighborhood, and so one of my homies, man, you know what I'm saying, his pop's been locked up, you know what I'm saying? And while he's going to be in Europe, his pop's going to be coming home, you know what I'm saying? So, like, that's strong enough in itself, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to put his name, I want him to tell that story, you know what I'm saying? But I think, like, that resonates with me in such a way, because it's like, man, like, look at what we're able to build. And you know what I'm saying? Who knows what's going to come from us because of this? You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, for sure. You guys are reproducing that,
yeah,
bro.
you know what I mean? And, like, my goal is to have a program in the future where I'm able to, like, expose kids to different cultures. And you know what I'm saying? Like, that's, I feel like the biggest thing is, like, just exposing people to as much as we can.
Even like skateboarding, like, we got skate parks in the hood. I see a
Right.
lot of people skateboarding now, you know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
like back in the days in the 90s when I was growing up, you ain't see none of that type of shit.
Right, you know?
Like, we knew who Tony Hawk was and the Airwalk shoes and all that, but like that wasn't us, you know what I'm saying? And now it's like right there in the hood. I mean, it's black, it's white, it's everybody, you know what I'm saying? Latinos, everybody.
Flacco Suave?
Yeah.
He's a crazy skater.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, he flips and everything. He's crazy good at it. You know what I'm saying?
Damn,
so, like,
that's dope. He looks like a skater.
Yeah.
He reminds me of little Pharrell Williams.
yeah,
or something
no,
like
for
that,
real, that's
you know?
hard. But yeah, man. So, like, yeah, it's just you know what I mean? We're just growing, expanding minds.
You know, shout out, man, to Selena Zavala and her man Sergio. Congratulations to you guys. They just spent a couple weeks out there in Paris. They even went to Malta, and they're planning. They got engaged out there, so congratulations to you guys. They're planning a whole wedding out in Malta, bro. And I'm like, damn, bro, that's dope. You know, people to just come from a community like, you know, here in Detroit, and then just be in a whole different continent. You know what I mean? Like, that's really dope, bro. And
you gotta make it out there once.
I do. I want to now. I want to, just because it's beautiful. And I remember DJ EJ. He had made a video. I think he had the Eiffel Tower behind him, and he was just DJing out there. And I was like, damn, bro, like.
You made it, bro.
The hood done made it.
Yeah,
I said the hood made it, bro.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's real.
I felt like I made it. I was like, damn, we made it, bro.
No,
you know
for real,
I mean?
man. And bro, he a hard worker himself. You know what I'm saying? Like I love being around EJ because we always him, Ray, and all them like bounce ideas off. You know what I mean? Playing shit. Like they got a show in Pontiac coming out. You know what I mean? That there is a Fiesta House that they do. They do it at the Marble Bar, and they're doing the next one in Pontiac. So just seeing that grow, you know what I'm saying?
And I love that because like back in the days, there was always like conflict between Detroit and Pontiac.
Yeah.
Like we used to go to this club called Clutch Cargo's out there. You know what I'm saying?
I've heard of it.
But like we used to have to go. It was an old church, and they turned the bitch into a club. Like it was still a church though, and you go in and it's a club. And I just remember there was always, so we always had to go out there deep because, you know, we was going out to Pontiac. But, you know, going to prison, I met a lot of good brothers from Pontiac. So I feel good going out there now, and it's just not what it used to be. And to know that you guys are networking and building and being creative and building that bridge, you know what I'm saying, with people everywhere. There's no discrimination. There's no, we don't fuck with y'all. Y'all from Detroit, y'all from Pontiac, y'all from Saginaw, y'all from Grand Rapids. Like, we're like, come on, tap in. Let's get it. Let's go. And I love it, bro.
That 5 hour zone, you know what I'm saying? Everything within 5 hours of us, we should be tapped in. You know what I'm saying? We should have relationships and building relationships, you know what I'm saying? So, like, that's from here to Chicago to Flint to Grand Rapids to everything, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, for real. Them boys in Flint go hard. I got some homies out there, man. Shout out to my man, Troy Galentine, one of my sponsors for the event. Much love to you, bro. Appreciate you, man. Stay safe out there. But yeah, because, you know, a lot of times I was like, man, how are we going to make it anywhere else if we can't even make it in our own soil, you know, our own land, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, everybody was just focused on being separated. We from here, y'all from there. But now it's like I love seeing everybody network.
Right, the collaboration.
You know? Yeah, for sure,
that's
bro.
I mean, and that's just how, like, things naturally build and become bigger than us. You know what I mean? Like, if we just pitch ideas to each other and something gonna hit the wall and something gonna grow on its own, you know what I'm saying? So
you guys broke down all them barriers, bro, and you're gonna be able to network, promote,
right,
expand, grow, evolve, you know what I'm saying? Like, I love it, bro.
And I think that's a big thing too. Like, we've always instilled in each other, like, you never know who one contact could lead to, you know what I'm saying? You never know what meeting this person who you can meet. We got this Berlin exchange because back in the day, me and Ray, this like 6 years ago, me and Ray, I used to tour with him. That's how I got good at stage performing, because I'm like, I tour with him and I open up in front of every show, you know what I'm saying? No beat or nothing, just a cappella and everything. So one time this dude was like, we were supposed to go out there, and he had a contract to do a show, a college show, and the contract fell through, but we were like, fuck it, we still go out there because we know there's a guy that does an exchange program from New York to Berlin. We went out there 6 years ago, met him, got real cool with him and the whole Europe crew, and developed our own Detroit to Berlin exchange. And now because of that, we get to take kids from Southwest Detroit, East Side, West Side to Berlin. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's sweet.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just stepping out there and building them connections, and who knows what they are going to create. You know what I'm saying? Like, one of the guys, his name is Dre. He's in the program. He's on the Europe tour coming with us. He just went to Brazil just because he was able to see, we were able to go to Europe like that. I might as well go to other places too. So by himself, bought a ticket and went to Brazil.
Man,
you know what I mean? Like,
don't
that's power.
Treat yourself,
you know what I'm saying?
baby.
Like,
yes, that is power,
yeah,
bro.
you know
that
what I'm
is
saying?
powerful when you can go everywhere and look at the same sun, bro, and soak up the same energy and just see different cultures. You learn, bro. You learn so much, bro, and you learn to appreciate the world. You learn to appreciate life and people and cultures.
And then you learn, I think the biggest thing too, you learn to appreciate home. You know what I'm saying? Like, going out seeing, like, damn, bro, this is why I love the hood too, because it got these aspects that are kind of unique. You know what I'm saying? And like, but we're blind to each other sometimes. You know what I'm saying? So like, I tell people all the time, like, you need to expand your culture. You know what I'm saying? Like, culture is such a big part of being human. You know what I mean? Like, we need to expand that aspect.
And then how your culture meshes in with other people's cultures. You know, and
seeing languages and how they, like, you know what I'm saying, like, and then seeing how Arabic is so closely related to Spanish. You know what I mean? Like,
oh yeah, pantalon, camis,
right, you know
all these words, you know. And I mean, being a prison was a melting pot of people from everywhere, bro. And you know, so many people are so focused on the things that are different, but when you focus on the things that we have in common, bro, like, you know, history shows us that a lot of us come from the same places,
right?
You know,
no, for real, man. Yeah,
Yup, that's dope, bro. When I sat down, I had friends that were, Chaldeans. I had friends that, were Yemenis and Lebanese and Albanian and all that. And, just learning their language and their food and their culture and what they believe. And, I even had friends who, Lebanese and Chaldeans, they don't talk. They all go their own way. And I was able to bring them together. You know what I'm saying? They were able to put them differences to the side, and they enjoyed each other's company. Even after I got rolled out and transferred out, they became friends. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, damn, bro, that's dope. That's powerful.
No, for real. And that ripples. You know what I'm saying? Like, now they go back to their people. It's like, hey, bro, you know what I'm saying? It's really not that deep. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, for sure. And like I said, bro, like people be carrying lifetime beefs and wars and carrying baggages of trauma from 30, 40, 50, 100 years ago, you know what I'm saying? And people don't even know why the hell they're beefing. They're just carrying the baggage that was handed on to them, or, just practicing what they were taught. We go here, we don't go over there, and we like them, but we don't like them, and we don't mess with them. And it's like, why would you create them barriers for yourself,
Right, and live in the box, you know what I'm saying? No.
And a lot of people, like I tell people all the time, because I've never seen society so antisocial like it is today. But I'm learning why, because people are fucked up. You know what I'm saying? You got people who are fucked up, bro. They do fucked up shit. You know what I'm saying? They think crazy. You don't even know what's in a person's mind, bro. They could be looking normal as hell, and they could have thoughts that are out of this world, So, yeah, it's hard to trust people, you know what I mean? But I can't stop that from allowing me to live my life. I have purpose, you know what I'm saying? I have the whole world. If I don't like your vibe, I can walk away. I can go. In prison is different. You're locked in. You got to be with everybody, whether you like them or you don't, you know what I mean? But out here, you have the liberty and the privilege to be able to just
keep pushing.
Yeah, keep it pushing. But people are like, they rather be home. They don't want to talk. They don't want to socialize.
Especially with technology. I don't need to interact with nobody.
They don't know how to articulate themselves. They don't have no communication skills, no social skills. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not used to that. I'm not used to seeing society divided like that. I never believed in that kind of division because we grew up close. But I do see why. I mean, look, you got, what they call shooters, people shooting up schools and churches. And, you got a lot of mental illness, that people are dealing with. And you just, so many people have been fucked over by their own family and friends. And, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, damn, if I can't even trust my own family and friends,
right.
I'd rather stay to myself, But, I like to be an example of somebody who, who is positive, and people who can enjoy your company and you can learn from, and, things like that, bro.
It's like being a light, you know what I'm saying? Being a light for real, because you never know how that transfers to the next person.
And shout out to Be the Light, man. That's my guy,
bro.
Man. Yeah. That's my guy, man. He be making some dope ass merch.
No,
man.
he do. I bought a print off of him. He got some. I got a sticker from him too. I fuck with his style.
Yeah, I got a nice shirt from him, bro. He's very creative, dog.
Yeah.
I love his style, man. He's very diligent.
I was thinking about having him do my locks, having him put my hair out, because he does his own locks.
He got his little mustache going on.
I fuck with
shit.
him, man.
Yeah, he's good people, man. And I just found out through that event, he's related to my people, bro.
Oh, okay, that's all right.
I was like, damn, that's the shit. Just small world, bro.
Yeah.
Even when we were talking, I'm like, damn, that's my people. You like, that's mine. I'm like, oh, we people now.
No, real.
Yeah, for sure, man. Have you been to New York yet?
Yeah, I've been to New York.
Have you?
Yeah.
Damn, I always wanted to go to New York.
Oh, man, you would love New York, bro.
Mm-hmm.
I love the hustle and bustle of New York. I feel like sometimes I get anxiety because I'm like, there's just so much going on, you know what I'm saying? Like, Detroit is such a slow pace compared to other parts of the country, like even Cali and, you know what I'm saying, like down south and stuff. Like, Detroit is very slow pace, like, because it just the how our city is structured, you know what I'm saying, like financially and all that. But you go to New York, like everything's going on all the time, you know what I'm saying. But yeah, I've done a couple shows in New York.
Damn, that's the shit.
Yeah, I love New York. I got a good connection there. Every time I go out there, I stay in Spanish Harlem, and it's right across the street from the Jefferson Projects, and it's hood, but it feels like a little bit of home. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
So it's nice, man.
Yeah, I definitely want to go one of these days. I always wanted to experience it.
Man, I just last time I was out there, I had rapped with Large Professor. You know, Large Professor. He's the one who like put Nas on and shit like that.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, it was at a beat battle contest, and they were just playing beats. So I'm like, man, I ain't come here for no reason. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna get out there and rap. And it's like very New York. Like New York style hip hop is like based off of like the shitty speakers, but you had like think of like Marley Marl, KRS-One. They had that voice. You know what I'm saying? Like you had to cut through the shitty speakers. You know what I'm saying? So it was just. I feel like for me it was like a milestone, you know what I'm saying, to like be able to rap like that in New York and like have the crowd fucking with me and have people, you know what I'm saying. So
I used to love New York rap, bro. I used to fuck with like Capone and Noriega,
Pun,
Mobb Deep, Big Pun. You know what I'm saying? Like shit, that was my shit, bro.
Yeah,
you know,
I was a big Wu-Tang fan because my pops was a big Wu-Tang. Yeah,
definitely.
Fan.
I went to a Wu-Tang concert here. Bro, that bitch was off the chain, dog.
Yeah.
They came about 100, and they brought like 100 people with them that were in the crowd. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They called it the Beehive.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? I was like,
Killer Bees.
Dog.
Yeah,
oh, the Killer Bees.
Yeah,
That's
Killer
what it
Bees.
was.
Yeah,
Beehive. I think that's the Bloods. My bad, brothers. My bad. No disrespect. Yeah, it was the Killer Bees. Yeah, and they was all in that bitch with the Wu-Tang leathers and shit. That was a good time.
I was gonna wear a Wu-Wear shirt I got from the '90s. I was gonna wear it today, but I'm like, you know what, that's a little bit too much. Let me not. But I should have. Shit.
So let's talk about fatherhood, man.
Yeah, man.
Yep.
Yeah, I love it, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, just creating a home for my kids. You know what I mean? Like, me and my wife, we got married after after our daughter was born. You know what I'm saying? I just wanted that just to make sure, like, that I got my family structured, you know what I mean? Like, my parents were never married, you know what I'm saying? Like, I live with my mom and shit, so having that means a lot for me and for my kids, you know what I'm saying? To be there every day, you know what I'm saying? Like, to, you know what I mean? Like, but, yeah, I love being a father, man. I'm happy that it happened at this stage in my life, because everybody else, you know, a lot of people have young babies when they're young, you know what I'm saying, which is cool, you know what I mean. Life is a journey, like you said, everybody got their own path, but I was able to wait. My wife is older than me, so she was able to wait, you know what I'm saying. So,
man, listen, bro, I am very proud of the men in my community today, because I have never seen so many good fathers.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? And I'm very proud of that, because I ain't grow up with that shit, bro.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, everybody's dad was a Rolling Stone. Everybody was being raised by their mom or by a stepdad, or, you know what I'm saying? Like, it just, you know, men, you always heard the women always bashing the men. You know, they're never home. They don't spend time with the kids, or they're in prison, or, you know, they're just out doing whatever the fuck they want to do. And I became that. You know, I was in the streets, you know, full time. I mean, I loved my kids, but according to how I knew how to love, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, because I was always taught that, you know, a man is a provider, you know what I'm saying? You provide for your family, you work, and, you know, whatever. I hustle. I never worked. I hustled, you know what I'm saying? And I felt like as long as they had a roof over their head and they had food and clothes on their back, they're good. But there's so much more to being a father and being
actually
a man.
Being time.
You know, and I came home and I see, you know, I'm so brothers like my man Julian Cuevas and so many more, bro, like, that are actually like good fathers, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, I admire the shit out of them, man, to see them put time in. Lex Zavala, man, every time I see this guy, whether he's at work, at home, whatever, he's got his kids with him, he's interacting with them, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And, you know, I never had that type of male interaction, bro. You know, the male interaction I had was, let's get drunk, let's get high, let's snort some coke, let's party, let's gang bang, you know what I'm saying? That was our activity.
Yeah.
You know? And now, you know, just to see, you know, men interact, you know, being good fathers and taking their kids places and doing things like that, just really makes me proud to see that the men in our community have evolved, because I grew up in a time where, like, you know, the feds swept through the hood and indicted all the gangs, and, you know, that cleared the streets up. Hundreds of motherfuckers got locked up from all the gangs from different parts of Southwest Detroit and, you know, the community, and it just left a whole hood vulnerable and left all the mothers to raise all the kids on their own.
Yeah.
And I feel like one of their main tactics was to keep their kids out the street, so they kept them in the house. And I feel like that has a big part of why so many kids are antisocial today, because they were taught to stay in the house and not go to the streets because it was so dangerous. You know what I'm saying? But our community has evolved now, bro. You know what I'm saying? And I think it's time for our people to evolve as well, you know, and start coming up out them houses and soaking up that sun and getting tuned with the universe and
the earth.
And all that good shit. And with people, you know what I'm saying? With people, because we're humans, bro. We were meant to socialize. You know, we weren't created to be divided, you know?
No, that's real. Yeah, man.
We were created to rule the earth, baby.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I think that's the biggest thing is, like I said, leading by example for my kids. You know what I'm saying? Just like being there for them, showing them, you know what I'm saying? Definitely a goal of mine is to own property up north, you know what I'm saying, so where I can show them nature, because growing up in the city, you're not really exposed to nature, you know what I'm saying, but when I come back home, I realize, man, like, damn, bro, like, I always seen foxes and coyotes in the hood, but I never thought none of it, but now, like, that's just beautiful to me, like, you know what I'm saying, I just want to be immersed in that more, so that's really what I'm hustling for, is, like, to eventually own property where I could raise my family, you know what I'm saying, and they could be more in tune with nature, and they don't have to be it don't have to be taboo for them, you know.
Man, I love that, bro. I love it because my generation, we grew up, you know, at least, you know, where I'm from is we didn't have no goals, bro. You know what I'm saying? We didn't have no direction. Nobody talked about the future. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody was just in survival mode.
Yeah.
Everybody just wanted to get through the day. Nobody knew when they was going to die. You know what I'm saying? Nobody valued life. Nobody valued freedom. Everybody just valued right now, you know? And so to see how progressive, you know what I'm saying, that you know, my community had become, the men and the women, and I'm proud of it, man. I love it.
Thank you, man. Yeah, man. Got to push, man. Yeah, just go hard, man, because like you said, you don't know when you're going to die, you know what I'm saying? So I'm going to do everything I can now then, you know what I'm saying?
I'm trying to tell you, bro, I live my best life every day. I mean, you know, we humans, you know, we got our little bad days, but I'll tell you what, they don't last long. I got more good days than bad days.
Right.
And I used to pray for that shit, because I'm like, damn, am I just going to struggle forever my whole life? Like, my whole childhood, adolescent, parts of my adulthood, like it's just been all suffering, you know what I'm saying? I just been in only the strong survive mode forever. Like, I don't want to continue to live like that. That shit's exhausting, bro. Eventually, I want to be in cruise control through life, enjoying it, you know what I'm saying? And you know, that's how I live. I wake up every day with gratitude in my heart, bro. Even things like just having all my fingers and toes, you know what I'm saying? Because I know people who are blind. I know people who are handicapped, who are crippled. I know, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, the prison system don't discriminate. They don't care what handicap complications you got. If you break the law, you going to prison. So imagine being in prison and you blind. You know what I'm saying? You got to have another man feed you, or you in a wheelchair, or, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's why I'm like, man, thank God I got all my fingers and toes. I'm in good health. I'm good. You know what I mean?
Alive, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, hell yeah. Yup. So what's the future look like for you, bro?
Shit, man. The future for me just looks like pushing myself to create bigger and better opportunities. I got murals. I'm an international artist now, you know what I'm saying? So I want to go hard on that, you know what I'm saying? I'm planting seeds in different parts of the world, like Australia, Japan, and hopefully they, you know what I'm saying, if I just, hopefully they flourish into big opportunities, you know? Got an album I got coming out in November, and I'm doing my first label partnership with a couple labels from America that do a lot of things internationally, so I'm just pushing hard, man. Still figuring out my shit like everybody else, you know. There's no blueprints to being a successful entrepreneur. You just got to pick up the clues from other successful people and put them together in your own format. So that's what I'm on, man. Raising my kids, trying to be the best health I can be, bringing together the neighborhood and pushing forward, you know.
That's dope, man. That's dope, dog. And you know, I'm here to support that, bro.
Thank you. Likewise, man.
Yeah.
I really to see what all this, man, and to hear your story. I didn't really know your story until today, man. But you know what I'm saying, it's very uplifting, it's very powerful, you know what I'm saying, to show that as long as you got the will and you know what I mean, your intentions are right, it's gonna come to be. So
my man.
You already know.
So let them know where they can find you at, bro. Where they can find your music. If they want to look you up, they want to support you, let them know where they can find you at.
All social platforms. This is like on everything as a Demac, 3 I's and an O. Demaciiio.
So you got 3 eyes in your name.
Yeah.
What do the 3 eyes represent?
It's a play on a lot. So obviously us having 3 eyes as spiritual beings, you know what I mean? Like, so, you know, your pineal gland, but also plays into the mind, body, and soul, which are the 3 aspects of yourself. So just having
the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, baby.
You feel me?
3 the hard way.
So just having you know what I mean, having yourself together, knowing who you are, you know what I mean? Like that was a big thing for me. It's always like figuring out who I am and just owning that. So that's why I have the 3 eyes, you know.
My man. Man, listen, thank you everybody who tapped in, watched live, man. Big shout out to my man Danny Reyna and DNR Construction, Concrete Construction. Big shout out to my man Martell Law Firm, Mr. Not Guilty. Big shout out to LA Landscape, my brother Zoe, and you know, everybody else that's out there doing their thing, man. And you know, I appreciate everybody who's been showing love and sponsorship and donations. Thank you. I appreciate you. Tell your uncle, your cousin, your aunt, your neighbors, go to YouTube, punch in the El Nino podcast and subscribe, please, and thank you. I'll see you guys next Monday. We got another awesome guest straight from the neighborhood, and I look forward to meeting with him, and I look forward to putting on a good show for you guys next week. Much love. Be safe, and I'll see you next Monday.
Peace, y'all.